There was a young man. I'm not going to use his name, but I could tell the moment I looked at him. And the most painful part, there were adults around him, a teacher, a parent, a coach, but nobody caught it. Today, I want to tell you what I saw, and more importantly, how to look out for that sign and those signs before it is too late. Look, I have seen both sides. The side of having access to early mentorship myself as a witness, starting my career 19 years old and having young men and women that are older than me holding my hands. I have also seen the other side of what can happen when that opportunity, when that access is missing. As a correctional officer with almost a decade of service to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, I could see what can happen to a young person when they lack those same access, when there is no accountability, but there's nobody that is looking out for them. And today, I'm going to share with you 5 signs that you need to look out for if you are a parent, if you are a teacher, if you are a coach, on how we can make the next generation of our leaders, of our young people, and build a better community, a better society for them. The 5 signs nobody talks about. Sign 1, he stopped caring about things he used to love. If you have a young person in your household or in your neighborhood and you're close to them somehow, you will notice that there's that one thing that they love to do that never gets them bored, things they can do for free. If they lose interest, if they stop caring about that one thing, that is a trigger. That is a sign for you to know that that young person might be headed in the wrong direction. And for you to start having that conversation with them and ask, why did you stop doing this thing that you love? It could be something as interesting as being a gamer, because the generation has changed. We are in a new sensation. If he loves playing games and he can do it at a higher level, he can do it to be productive. There are gamers that makes money on this thing every day, every week. You can help them to explore that. You can help them to do a deeper dive in that sector, in that industry, and see how they can become something or someone in that arena. Sign 2, the friends group changed overnight. As someone that you know in the neighborhood that used to roll with fellow teenagers, that they talk about science, they talk about their education, they talk about sport, cool stuff, and suddenly you see that same kid start rolling with the big uncle in the street that sells drug. That big uncle on the street that is driving a 2026 vehicle that the source of their wealth cannot be traced to doing any kind of job or any work or selling any product or services. That's the time to look out for it. If the circle suddenly change, it is time for you to also take a look at it in a deeper way and know that there's something that might be going wrong and that kid might be heading in the wrong direction. Sign 3, small lies became normal and nobody challenged them. Something as simple as, where are you coming from? And you know he's not coming from a basketball game. And he says, I'm coming from a basketball game. Or something as simple as, hey, what are you doing right now? You see him pressing his phone and he says nothing. Those are lies. And they are very simple ones. They are very basic. But if you don't pay attention to it and call him or her out on that, it goes bigger. It gets deeper. And that's how you know that that kid might be heading in the wrong direction. When they make a lie or say something that is wrong, look them in the eye and tell them, call them out, keep them accountable, because all those small lies, if they are not traced, if they are not nipped in the bud, immediately it can get bigger, and before you know it, they can start doing something that becomes unproductive and will start heading them to that place that you don't want them to be. You don't want to start driving 500, 800, 1,000 miles away from home to go and see your loved one behind those prison walls. It is not a good place to be. Sign 4, he disconnected from every structured activity. I have always said it. There has to be structure in your life. Every young person, even as an adult. But this video is not for adults, it is for teenagers. If they do not have any structured activity in their life, that is a big challenge. So the sign 4 is, if your teenager, if your young person just disconnect from every structured activity that they have in their life, it could be something as simple as them stopping to go to their soccer training, or stopping to go to their basketball training, or they just don't want to do what they used to do anymore. They don't want to pray if you are a religious family. They don't want to talk about their education, their class, what they learn in class. They don't want to talk about anything. They just said, I just want to relax. I just want to be lazy. That is a challenge. And you have to start talking to them at that level as well. You must have structure in your life. You must always get your day busy, get your day packed, because an idle hand, just as it is even in the book of the Lord, Bible, an idle mind and an idle hand is a devil's workshop. You must have structure. Sign 5, the adults around him were too busy or too afraid to ask him what is going on or to talk to them. Sometimes, these 13, 14-year-olds can be as tall as 5 feet 9, some of them 6 feet. Incredible. I work with them every day or every week, so to say, as a coach, and I see them. You can never be afraid of your son. Never. You can never be afraid of questioning them. You can never be afraid of asking them direct question, and knowing that if they don't answer those questions, or give you the exact answer, there is consequences for the lack of response. We cannot ignore those little signs by just giving total control to our teenagers. Remember, they do not know a lot, even though they will tell you, I know a lot, but they don't. And that is where our path come in as a parent, that we have to continuously parent them, guide them, support them, inspire them, find them structure, find them mentors, find them a group, find them a community, a safe space where they can be, where they can continuously be challenged. Let them understand that it is okay to fail at something every now and then. It is okay not to get what you want. It is okay not to have everything that you need, because life does not give you everything you need. Life gives you what you deserve. Life gives you what you earn. You cannot give your child a vehicle at the age of 13 just because you love him, because he does not earn it. He has never made any money. What is he going to do with that? He's going to crash it, or he's going to misuse it. Let us be able to hold these young people accountable by asking them questions, by not being afraid of them, by continuously holding them accountable when they need to. I remember one of the young men I encountered during one of my unit assignments at one of the units of TDCJ in Beaumont, Texas. This young man's age was as young as 18 years old, serving a 35-year sentence. And if you're serving 35 years, you will do at least half of that. So he's going to be in there for at least 17 years and a half before he will have any opportunity to get a parole. And he was on what they call a direct observation that day. And I had a chance to ask him, what happened? Why are you here at the age of 18? You're supposed to be about to graduate high school or just graduating high school. And he said there was nobody to give him a structure. Nobody could tell him nothing because he was associated with the wrong crowd. The crowd that he was rolling with, no, his mom was okay with it because dad was not home. And this is another menace. You fathers, if you have a son or a daughter, try your best as much as you can, as much as I understand that it is very difficult when the situation between you and the mom sometimes don't work. Try your best to keep being in the life of your child. Try your best to continue to have conversation with your teenager, because sometimes all it takes is that conversation. What is going on, son? What are you doing with yourself? Where did you get that friend from? What is the name of that friend? What does he do? Those questions. This young man, I knew if he had had someone to ask him a question, to guide him, to question his decision, maybe he would not be in that particular place that he is. Now we have talked about all of the problems. What is the solution? What should happen, or what could have happened to those people that we mentioned? It's just for one parent, one teacher, one coach to consistently show up, to consistently provide structure, to continuously ask them the question and keeping them accountable. That is the solution. There is no other way to say it. I can tell you the same thing and bring in different dimension of saying that exact word to you. But the solution is for us to build a community. It is for us to know that it takes a village. I know, I understand, especially in the American context. Oh, I don't want to talk to that kid because his mama will be angry. There is nothing wrong you seeing a 13-year-old on the street not doing anything right for you to call them and say, hey, what's your name? And what are you doing out here? It is not what you say, it is how you say it. We have a country, a community, a city to build. We need adults to consistently show up, to consistently ask questions, to consistently provide mentorship to our young people. And that's how we can build a better community, a better city, and a better country at large. Share this video with any parent that you know that needs to watch it. Each one, teach one. Also, you can get the free guide, how to bring your teenagers that is drifting back into normal, back into being accountable. It is free and it is down in the description of this video. Subscribe to the channel. Let us continue to grow. Let us continue to learn together. Remember, average is the enemy. Purpose is the goal. I'll see you again in the next video.